Welcome back to Speed's coverage of the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150 for NASCAR's Whelen Modified Tours. You are riding with Ryan Newman, who currently runs in 6th place behind Mike Stefanik. Bob?
Ryan Newman going around this racetrack. He told the guys, I'm playing the waiting game right now. They want to be patient. Remember, Ryan Newman out in the early part of this race last year. He thinks he has a pretty darn good race car, but at the same time, that crew believes the track will come to them in the second half. He says that's when you're going to see everybody go for broke here as that second crew, the outside, comes in as he goes 3 wide to make a move around Stefanik.
Going to make that pass this time. Try it again, shove it down in turn number 1, and the car slips up just a bit.
Now Newman is 1 for 1 this year. One prior start, that at New Hampshire, beat Teddy Christopher on the very last lap to win it. Newman's track record in this kind of racing has been wreckers or checkers. Either he is right up front or he goes home on the hook. There's nothing to do with points in this team. It is all about trying to win the race, so they go all out to do just that. Look at the right front suspension in that car, Mike. Look at the amount of movement that they get.
Working hard. As is Ted Christopher in the 13. The Alley Installation Chevrolet of Eddie Whelen. Christopher, the leader, started 6th. Todd Zegedy's the number 2. The UNOH Whisk Snuggle 4 trying to keep him in sight. James Savali is 2.3 seconds off the lead. He drives for Sandra and Roger Hill. Roger, a longtime modified driver in the number 79. Now Savali has the controls of that car, and the Hill's son David is the crew chief.
Yeah, and they race out of the North, but they're running the South Series this year, trying to win the championship.
Bit of a dust up here for position. That bright color number 25 is John Smith. He's trying to work his way past Pit Cat. That's it. About 13th position.
Smith, the prior winner this year as well, Mike.
Now I believe Andy Sice has laps down 5 to be exact in the 47, but he is running competitive speed in the middle of that pack. The 6, Ronnie Silk, slips up the track a bit. Cars are fun to watch because every action of the driver is seen to the fan in the direction of those front wheels.
And they move around so much as well. I mean, these cars are anything but smooth. We've got problems on the backstretch.
And this will be the second caution of the race, and that's Gene Pack in the 31. Regular at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem. Spun down the back straightaway.
Virtually all the problems, all the accidents we've seen here in practice and so far in the race have been coming off the corners. That's the hardest part for the drivers of these cars.
Well, we're thrilled to have aerial coverage here tonight, Dick, so let's have a look at what happened to Gene Pack.
Ooh, well, there you go. A little bumper into bumper, and around he went.
That was a bump him, thump him, and dump him.
Yeah, it was.
Who was the offender? That would have been Ronnie Silk.
Silk, yeah.
Want to see what this looks like in real time? The driver has little time to react. Something like that happened.
Just a touch. Just the slightest touch, and around he went.
It wasn't really a dump him. It looked like Silk was trying to move to the outside lane, and Pack just wasn't quick enough for him to get around.
Oh, and it's hard to judge the length of these cars as well, Mike. You look at how far back the driver sits in relation to where the front bumper is, and you're trying to run an inch, a half an inch off the back bumper of another car.
Gene Pack is able to continue. 57 of 150 laps, 80 miles the distance tonight at Bristol. Saturday NASCAR race day rolls into Bristol. Join JR, Kenny, Kyle, Wendy, and Hermie. They'll give you the ultimate setup before NASCAR's best battle at Thunder Valley. NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot, live from Bristol, Saturday at 5 Eastern. Only on Speed. We're under caution for the second time. This one for Gene Pack's spin off the front bumper of Ronnie Silk. Now Todd Szegedy runs second. He led early, Bob.
A real interesting program that Todd Szegedy and this team is doing with the University of Northwestern Ohio. Down here in the pits, they have 4 people who are in school at the University of Northwestern Ohio that are part of the team, and it's part of their internships program. In fact, they have a great motorsports program at UNOH. In fact, they've placed people in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series as well. So they're getting an education down here on pit road in this NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour Race at Bristol with Szegedy.
And later tonight, a couple of those students will be pitting the 12 truck of Mario Goslin in tonight's Camping World Series truck race. For more information, the University of Northwestern Ohio can be found at the website you just saw, UNOH.edu. Ready for the restart. That is Rob Summers heading for pit road, as is the pace car. Here comes the field. Christopher, Szegedy, Savali, Stefanik, Bonsignor, Newman, Santos, Goodale, green flag. Nobody wants to give an inch.
No, and Szegedy before had just won every single restart, but not this time, not with Teddy Christopher beside him. Although he's gaining the measure now on the outside. Szegedy has got the lead.
Christopher slots in second in the red 13. Savali is third. Stefanik in the 16 fourth, and Newman in that bright green and blue number 7 is fifth. Bonsignor, Goodale, Quarterly, Santos, and Rudolph the top 10. Bob?
Hey guys, here's a little secret that Todd Szegedy told me right before the race. During practice today, he practiced almost exclusively on the outside groove. He said, if I want to win this race, I believe I need to run well on the outside. Teddy Christopher pulling down to the bottom right now, but he thinks it'll pay dividends by the end of this race.
Well, it may, but Christopher found an opening and quickly took advantage and retook the lead. Zach Brewer, that's the red 11 coming off pit road and back into the race. And Christopher legs it out. Szegedy did not get off turn too well that time.
No, he didn't. And the bottom has really been the place to run tonight, Mike, in no small part because that's where the rubber is. That's where the practicing has been done today. And that bottom lane is incredibly fast.
Top 10, pretty much nose to tail, but for Christopher, as you watch Newman chase Stefanik. The Sanderson-McLeod machine.
Ryan Newman has a nationwide win here. Last year he crashed out early.
Boy, Szegedy slipped up top for a moment. There's Savali backing up. James Savali there at 4th place. Newman in bright green trying to take advantage. Side by side for second. Stefanik is going to get it. He had the patience. He waited. He picked his spots. But now the championship winningest driver on this tour in active competition is going to hunt down Teddy Christopher.
70 wins Mike Stefanik has in a long, long career driving these cars. His wife ordinarily is his spotter. She is back home in Rhode Island tonight. Spotter tonight is Butch Sevenin.
Savali looks to the inside of Szegedy. Nothing there. Szegedy running right in the middle of the racetrack, while the first 2 cars, Christopher and Stefanik, right, as you said, in the bottom groove. It's about 1.8 seconds from first to second because all that battling for second has allowed Christopher to squirt away. Don't forget, in just a couple of laps, we're going to have the yellow flag for the halftime break. Similar to the Sprint Cup All-Star race, teams will come to pit road and they'll have 5 minutes to make any adjustments they could normally make on a pit stop.
Got to leave the hood on, got to leave the back deck on, but you can change the wedge, you can put some fuel in it. Everybody's going to put tires on the car for sure for the run to the checker.
Halfway, next time by. There's Newman in 5th, and pole sitter Bonsignor is who you're looking at from under the back bumper of Ryan Newman. Halfway being shown to the field.
That's a great shot, isn't it?
I love it.
I mean, you realize just how awesome these cars are in a picture like that.
And the caution flag for halftime waves on the field. Ken Christopher, the leader. Mike Stefanik, Todd Szegedy, James Savali, and Ryan Newman are your front five. There's Christopher. James Bonsignor, Dale Quarterly, the road racer and ex-motorcycle racer, having a fine run here in 7th. Eric Goodale, Bobby Santos III, and Woody Pitkat, the top 10. There are 16 cars on the lead lap, the rest of them being Burt Myers, Eric Rudolph, Ryan Preece, Chuck Housefield, Tim Brown, George Brunholzl, and Ronnie Silk. We'll be back and see what happens at halftime. Ken Christopher leading at Bristol.